Get on the track.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the latest episode of Flyover Breakdowns. This episode, we're going to be talking about Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. Although the Eagles moved back from 6 to 12, acquiring a future first-round pick in the process, Florida tight end Kyle Pitts could possibly still be an option at 12 pick, and he's a fantastic player, but there's a lot of controversy around him amongst fans about what he can be as a player, and I want to get into it more this episode. Kyle Pitts absolutely blew into the college football scene in 2020, dominating for 770 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns, and 43 receptions in just 7 games. He was the focal point of the Gators offense, and he has grown tremendously from being a 4-star recruit out of local Philadelphia. He went to Archbishop Wood, a high school juggernaut, and has grown really nicely in these last 2 years of Florida. He has grown all the way up to be projecting a top 3 pick before the Miami Dolphins traded back a few days ago. Now the big question is, where is he going to land and how far will he fall with these recent trade-ups? There's no denying that Kyle Pitts was a genetic freak at Florida. He was a matchup nightmare for cornerbacks and safeties, and almost nobody could cover him, nor could any two people cover him. There was no stopping Kyle Pitts in the last season. And now the biggest question going ahead is, how will that translate to the NFL? Now, he is absolutely going to dominate over the middle in standard tight end sets. The big question, and what a lot of people have been saying, is he's going to be this game-breaking tight end that can play the X and play out wide consistently. Now, there's definitely precedent for tight ends playing out there in short bursts, but there are people thinking he could be out there consistently and pretty much almost even change his position to wide receiver. I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He can definitely do in short bursts, but we're going to take a look at some pretty dominant tight end here that played out X, and it didn't really work out perfectly for him. Before we get into that, we'll take a look at just how much of an athletic freak Kyle Pitts is and how much you see these players in the NFL currently play out at X that are some of the best at their position and also other athletic freaks. Looking at his measurables, Kyle Pitts ran a 4.46 40 time a couple weeks ago. Now you have to keep in mind this was hand-timed 40. These are not as accurate as the NFL draft. They tend to be about 1/10 of a second or at least faster than the combine scores, so you have to take this with a grain of salt. So it's probably somewhere around a late 4.5. He is 6'6", 240 pounds. He's a little bit taller, but he's also significantly lighter than other tight ends, and he has a 31-inch vertical coming out of high school, which has probably improved since. He is just able to jump up and get any ball. He can high point any football and almost always come out with it. There is no cornerback that's going to be able to cover that. Now, you obviously look here, the main question is the percentage of snaps at X. Looking at other tight ends, Travis Kelce, he had 32.3% of his snaps at X this past season. You just look at him with Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. That was a spread out, deep offense, and he worked out perfectly for it. Again, you're not seeing him as much as he was over the middle. He's only 32%. We're talking about people were seeing him over 50% for Kyle Pitts. Darren Waller, who was an athletic freak, probably the fastest tight end in the league, probably most suited for that position, only 19%. And Kyle Pitts, just 17% of his snaps at Florida were out at This breakdown is going to be discussing future Hall of Fame tight end Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski is without a doubt the biggest matchup nightmare the NFL has ever seen. Standing in an opposing 6'7", nearly 270 pounds, his athleticism was like a wide receiver, but he had the build of a tight end. Now, you see in New England, they used him a lot out wide during his prime. He saw maybe about 40-50% of his snaps out at X during probably the height of his athleticism. This film is from 2015 against the Buffalo Bills. You see a lot of snaps from him out there. It shows pretty much encompasses entirely what the benefits and negatives are from playing a tight end out at that position so consistently. You're going to see the matchup nightmares the defense going to encounter, but also how they slow him down and prevent big plays from happening and how he could benefit more from playing over the middle. It shows him how dominant he was over the middle. This game, he was fantastic overall, somewhere about 7 receptions and 113 yards, but a lot of his great play came from over the middle. It wasn't from out wide, but we'll get into what pretty much all of the positives and negatives from his play was. Taking a look at this positionally, you're going to be in an empty set here with New England. They're going to have 2 wide receivers on the left, 3 on the right. Gronk's going to be in the middle on the right side. Now you're going to see the cornerback on the far left is going to be in man coverage, and you're going to have the 2 safeties back. Going to be have some help coverage over the top. Should be in a good position to stop this. New England also should have a one-on-one here, but the safety right here on the right side is going to mess it up. He's going to step up, hesitate for a second, and it's going to let Gronk get deep and get that one-on-one coverage on that one guy, and it's not going to end well for this defense. This is absolutely what you don't want to do here, and that's a huge benefit if you're going to be putting a tight end. It's exploiting matchups, but you have to be relying on the defense making mistakes over that of your guy making the right play. Let's see this in action here. You see all those routes drawn up here. Brady is going to sit and see what's kind of going on here. You see those safeties stepping back. There you see the 3 go routes. The other 2 are going to be going on curls. See that safety hesitate. Brady's going to notice it immediately and throw it right over the top of Gronk on that one-on-one. He's going to pull it in. Beautiful catch for a 30-plus yard gain there by Gronkowski. It was just a huge mess up by the safety that hesitate for just that second. Makes all of the time in the world. You're going to see here that other safety is going to step back, and you'll see on the right side here that the hesitation by its safety and the gap it creates. You're going to see that Brady's going to see it right here. He's going to make that beautiful throw. See the safeties looking there like how he messed up. Beautiful one-on-one coverage over the top there. That's what you want if you're going to be using Pitts over top and in one-on-one situations deep. This upcoming scenario is where you're going to see what goes wrong in these tight end out wide coverages. You're going to have a safety over top, cornerback and man coverage on Gronk. He's out wide right. Brady's going to notice that one-on-one coverage immediately. He's going to target Gronk because he knows he has that position on the outside. That safety immediately is going to recognize it. He's going to scream over and help coverage, and he's going to help break up this play and not let Gronk get anything there. He's going to push him out of bounds before he can even get possession of the football here. Take a look at it again. You're going to see Brady right here. He's going to yell one high, and it is going to just immediately going to Gronkowski. He's not even going to be thinking about passing it to anybody else. Here you see Brady recognize it. He's going to take a step back, 1-2, and he's going to hit Gronk almost immediately. But that safety is going to be all over in help coverage. That is the big issue here with these tight end sets, is that coverage and the double teams that shut down any help over the top. This is another example of exploiting a matchup but not going your way here. You're going to see Gronk close on the left here, send a wide receiver in motion out wide. They're going to notice it's a blitz. Brady's going to recognize the creeper, and he's going to audible Gronk deep, 2-step drop back, and just throw it up for him in that one-on-one match with the linebacker. It's not going to go his way, though. Here you see it. Gronk is going to be going deep, throws it up, but the linebacker, again, is all over it. Great job by recognizing it, and you can use this, but this is an issue you're going to be running into with Pitts in these matchups. He's not always going to win them. Linebackers are going to be able to break this stuff up. If he can break up against Gronk, you're going to be able to break up a pass against Kyle Pitts over the top. Now, this is an issue here. You see Brady go 1v1, go deep. He's going to call that hot route. And you're going to see Gronk. He's going to look like he has it. The linebacker's going to do a great job recovering and breaking up that pass here. Pitts is not going to be as strong to stop that. You cannot be relying on these wide out options for him to be an elite guy. Now you see this next play here. They're going to send both tight ends out wide. Gronk is going to be the far left. He's going to be doing a levels crossing route. He's going to have man coverage. This is what you want to exploit. Man coverage over the middle is going to be exactly what Kyle Pitts' bread and butter is going to be, like any other elite tight end. You'll see it here right over the top. Going to have a perfect inside leverage to pull in that ball there. Fantastic job by Gronk. This is what Kyle Pitts will be fantastic at, just like any other great tight end. You're not going to want to rely on him out deep wide. You want to work on him over the middle. That's why these 12 personnels that Philly has work so well. It's just exploiting coverages over the middle against these linebackers and one-on-one short coverages and using your size to advantage. You don't want to be sending them deep where they might not be able to pull in that ball on double coverages and such. Here you see Gronk going to get that beautiful catch, beautiful throw by Tom Brady here, but that is going to be an issue you're going to have here, is going out wide. Here's the verdict on using Kyle Pitts out wide, making him a wide receiver or in large dosages as that X receiver. It's not going to work. He is going to be used best in small dosages out wide, probably about what you see him in Florida right now, about 20% of snaps, or if there's a matchup they can definitely take advantage of. There are specific routes that he can do amazing at outside. 10 to 15 yard out routes that keep him away from safety but still keep him in one-on-one coverage is probably ideal if you want to use him out wide, or if you really think you can high point a ball and you're definitely going to get one-on-one coverage against corner, yeah, you can send him deep. Now, like I said, he's going to want to keep Kyle Pitts at what he works best. He is absolutely a top 5, top 10 player in this draft. It would be incredible if he fell to 12. You need to just stick to using him over the middle, exploiting linebackers, like I said, cornerbacks, and crossing routes in that one-on-one coverage. That is what is going to work best for Kyle Pitts. Having him in a 12 personnel with Dallas Goedert over the middle is going to be a nightmare, and probably the best tight end duo we have seen in a long time, especially with the NFL trending towards heavy 12 personnel like you're seeing in New England and Philadelphia in the last several years. Like I said, he is going to be a top 5 tight end. I don't think he's going to be this game-breaking, positionless tight end wide receiver that he has been hyped up to be by some. He is absolutely, like I said, a top 10 pick, but just that idea of him being this Calvin Johnson-esque, Rob Gronkowski, Darren Waller, all rolled into one, it's not realistic, and it's a project of the draft hype. And like I said, if he is there at 12, you take him at no question. But I'm just trying to settle the situation here of what many have been hyping him up to be, and it's just the hype has begun to falsify what reality actually is going to be for Kyle Pitts. That's going to do it for this episode of Flyover Breakdowns. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Connell or LibertyLine at LibertyLinePHL. Be sure to check out our website, www.libertyline.com. I have written breakdowns for all of the Flyover breakdowns I have or will be doing. I have one on the Eagles covered too. I did a couple of days ago. I'll have one for Kyle Pitts soon. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more college breakdowns, especially the first round climber for the Eagles changing with this move back with guys like Jalen Waddle coming into the mix. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up with any breakdowns you want in the upcoming future, and I'll definitely be sure to do them. And I'll talk to you guys next time.